YouTube, what a YouTube Down Home News TV. I'm Dre. Hopefully y'all having a good evening. We got a video from Sage Steele. I've gone through a little bit of her video previously that y'all could check out on my page. But turning the conversation, the title of this video is The Struggles of Being a Black Conservative with Brian Donalds, Sage Steele podcast. Let's see what the struggles are.
Are you telling me there was never a fear with either one of you two when you were younger, knowing I had these feelings, but I'm going to get ostracized in my community if I'm true to myself? Was there ever a time where you thought, this is a lot, and I don't know?
Oh, yeah. A lot of times. But then I look at my sons. My oldest son is 20, gonna graduate college next year. 16-year-old, 13-year-old. And for me, the first thought after you hit that fear wall is, but what lesson am I teaching them? That you feel so passionately about something, you truly believe in something, and then you have the facts behind you, but you're gonna let the world tell you you're wrong. Like some of the great inventions in our economy were pushed by people who were told, no, that won't work.
Yep.
And then you had to look at that and say, no, this is going to work, and you move forward. And a lot of times, that road is a lonely one. That's a road you walk by yourself. But I will tell you, even through this journey the last several years, now being at the national level in politics, there's times where I've thought to myself, man, Byron, you might want to just ratchet this thing down a little bit and just chill out. But then honestly, Sage, I saw your story and I watched podcasts. I listened to you and everything, and you coming out and telling your story and the things that happened. And watching you do that, I'm like, well, then what am I worried about? She's opening up things that are personal that she never wanted to cover. And now she's letting it be known. That gave me fuel to say, well, shoot, all I'm doing is talking about public policy. And all I'm talking about is saying that Donald Trump is the person to lead this country. That when you see people take that journey and take that step, what it does, I believe it fuels more people. I'll tell you a quick story on this. George Washington University, I was there when they still had the encampments going on. Yeah. And so the university president told us that most of the people in these encampments didn't even go to GW. They are people from outside. They're paid agitators.
Sick.
We've all seen them. So we're talking about, are we gonna go see the encampments? I'm like, let's go. So we're walking through the encampments and I'm taking on protesters and encampment people left and right. And I hear this voice over my shoulder. And this voice is saying, yeah, get off my campus. Yeah, you don't belong here. Yeah, you don't belong here. When I walked up, I didn't see anybody doing that. I looked over my shoulder. It was a Jewish student, goes to GW. He might've been 5'5", 5'6". He saw me taking them on. He's like, well, if he's taking them on, I could take them on.
Wow.
And having the strength and the will to step through when everybody says you shouldn't or you can't, or that fear wall where we all hit it. We all hit the fear wall. But walking through that, what you begin to realize is there is the silent majority like Wesley's talking about. There are people out there who are saying, I do agree with that. Thank you for saying that. Keep going. So when he's in the airport, I'm in the airport, you're in the airport, and people come up and they go, thank you. I'm really glad you're speaking that way. It gives you the fuel to continue.
That story is, I'm envisioning it now. Just by stepping foot, just by being present, you empowered just that one student, and who knows who he empowers. That's the beautiful part of it. What was the turning point for both of you? Do you want to start? Because I assume, yes, that you had that moment too where you thought,
so my life was changed drastically after combat. And so when I was, 23, 24 years old, leading people into combat, getting shot at by a Russian-made 50 caliber machine gun flying around Baghdad, and then to land, and to thank God that you land, only to get up the next morning and then do it again. Because if I don't do my job, then somebody on the ground might not get to go home to see their parents again. So therefore, I must do my job for them because I took an oath to do it.
Yeah.
You do that 55 times, it creates a different human being when you come out on the other side. Now, most people don't have that kind of experience, thank God. And thank God that less than 1% of this country is willing to step into the breach literally to do that. but that's when I became a very fearless person at that point. West Point helped out, but it was combat in 2006 that completely changed my outlook on life. At that point, for the rest of my life, I felt like I'm living on borrowed time. A lot of my classmates did not make it back alive. I'm surprised I made it back alive on some nights, to be honest with you. The fact that I did, I feel like I owe it to those that did not make it back in one piece to continue to find ways to serve because they can't serve for themselves. How can I possibly be a coward if for some reason I made it back for whatever reason they did not, and I don't speak up like this, and I don't live my life without fear and taking care of this country, taking care of our posterity. If I don't do that, then I besmirch the death of my fallen classmates, and I will never do that.
Can I get Kleenex?
Sorry. That's just sorry.
Damn you.
As
Some deep stuff. Deep stuff. But we all have fears in life. And hopefully this little snippet will encourage those who are facing fearful times to just push through, no matter the consequences, no matter what people say about you. Just keep chugging along because you're here for a reason. Everybody is here for a purpose. Down Home News TV, I'm Dre. Y'all have a good evening.